we're back.
We are. It's been a bit. Sorry.
And we have pizza.
Pizza.
I was holding it in my arms like I don't know, like something from church, and walking out of the store screaming Sanctus Domine as loud as I could. And then I told her to stand behind me while I screamed and chanted that.
Mm-hmm. We were a procession.
And then I just looked up what the Sanctus Domine
I don't know what
means.
that. I don't know what that means.
And Google says it means holy, holy, holy Lord God of hosts, which doesn't really make sense because Sanctus Dominus is 2 words, and holy, holy, holy Lord God of hosts is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 words.
Why do we have to say holy so many times?
I was just saying Sanctus Domine, which I don't even think is grammatically correct.
That doesn't seem right at all.
Benedictus qui veni in nomine Domini translates to blessed who comes in the name of Lord. They're missing an article there. Should be blessed who comes in the name of Lord. The Lord, I should say. This is my pizza. Through him all things are possible.
Is that what you said?
Yes.
That's nice.
That is mine.
That's where your meaning is?
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
4-day-old pizza.
Yeah, it's a little old, but whatever.
The cheese melts. It's okay.
Yeah, sure. We're not going to waste it. How about that? We'll put it that way. It's going to be an all-day thing. Yep. So, I think I've come up to the decision that I want to learn another language. What language, I'm not fully sure. In the middle of the night, I woke up and I couldn't go back to sleep, and I decided it was going to be Chinese. Mostly,
I'll teach you some Chinese. Ching chong, bitch. That means fuck you, bitch.
Well, that's horribly racist.
No, it's not racist. I am Asian. Look at my skin.
Your hands?
It radiates yellow. Well, that could be the sun too, but without the sun, it's still yellow.
Okay.
I'll tell you something else in Chinese. Ching chong, bitch. That means if you learn my language, I will motherfucking kill you in your sleep.
Chinese is not like your language.
Close enough. It might as well
is
be.
Close, but
It might as well be.
But it's not.
If it weren't for the Vietnam War, I would have been born like 20 kilometers from the border of China.
This is accurate.
And we use kilometers over there. What is a kilometer? Who knows?
Nobody knows.
1.6 kilometers is a mile.
Nobody knows, babe. Nobody knows. But anyways, I decided on Chinese because it was this whole thing of how there's the TikTok ban coming into effect possibly soon, and people are trying to find another app or figure things out. It seems a lot of people have decided they're all going to leave the Meta platforms, which I have already started doing, in the process of some of them. Facebook's taking a bit because, a little bit more to that. But leaving those, and then they're like, what do we do now? And I saw a big group of people talking about how they're like, fine, if we can't have TikTok, we're just going to go straight to the source and download the Chinese version of TikTok, which is Rednote. And I downloaded that last night, really late in the night. And yeah, it's the exact same thing. Obviously everything's in Chinese, so you don't know what it says, but that's fine. And then I decided, you know what? Let me just learn Chinese so I can navigate this app better, and I have another language, and come on, it's not like a bad thing to have. But then he was telling me that Chinese is one of the hardest languages to learn. And I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't start with that one.
Oh, you naive little child.
Yeah, I don't. So then I was like, maybe Korean. I think that was a little bit easier. I have a friend at work that speaks it too, so she can kind of help me.
Who speaks Korean?
Marissa.
She's white. Well, not really. She's Armenian.
Yeah, she's Armenian. And she lived in Korea.
Ah.
Her mom is in the military, so she was like an army brat kid.
An army brat.
Yep.
Sanctus Pizza ne.
There you go. So, I might start with that one. I don't really know. Not sure what I'm doing yet. Just decided this literally. What time is it? 9:30. 12 hours ago.
You should listen to a song by Jin called Learn Chinese. Here it is.
Okay, let me hear this.
Oh, he's singing in English though.
Yeah, I don't know how my this isn't gonna do it.
And I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure brr, brr is not Chinese, so I don't know.
Wow. Great observation there. So I might do that. But if you're like,
I'm watching kitty bitches.
oh my god. If you like TikTok though, I would recommend checking out Rednote, the Chinese version. It's not perfect because obviously everything's in Chinese, so you have to navigate around that. But just to like stick it to them, just to be like, fine, you're gonna get rid of TikTok. We all love TikTok. We're just gonna go directly to the source of the one thing that you hate, which is China. Like, it's not like they don't get our data and shit anyways. It's our own people selling it to them. They just want the money.
I always find it funny. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this before, but people who think like the government's trying to track you with like
I have nothing that they
with
would care
body
about.
implants. You've got a phone that
Yeah.
does the tracking for you. If you think
Your
the
phone is
government
it.
isn't using that to
Yeah.
track you, you're an idiot.
And like, everybody's so worried about, oh, they got my data. They're gonna see my contact list and messages. What are you doing and saying and talking? Who are you talking to? That's so big that they would care.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Sorry, Sharon. Nobody cares about what time your brunch club is meeting on Sunday.
They don't give two shits about that. What they want is like federal people. They want their phones because they're the phones with like the information. So maybe just put a restriction on the people working within the government's phones instead of all the citizens.
I have literally bought drugs on my cell phone before that has said like, hey, Steve, do you have any pot left? I would like to buy a gram off of you. And guess what? Nobody came after me. So I don't know.
Accurate.
And now,
That was a long time ago. So
No.
no one buys pot that way
no.
anymore.
I mean, it's all legal here now anyway, and it's
True.
just cheaper to go to the stores to buy it. But
True.
yeah, I think if they were really monitoring that shit, they would have came after me. But then again, they're not coming after the guy buying a gram of weed off of a coworker of theirs.
They
or something.
don't care about that. I tell you, I promise you, they don't give two shits about you.
If you don't make like $1 million or more a year, the government doesn't give a shit about
Nope.
you.
The only thing that they're taking your data for, really, and care about for you is for advertising, which everybody does that. Think about it. You're like talking to your Alexa, which is hooked up to Amazon and everything. That's why Amazon knows what to push it to you, because you spoke about it.
Yeah.
Your phone's always around you. You're speaking. It's listening to you.
No.
That's what it is. It's
We're
not
not-
fucking China trying to get your stuff because they're gonna take your $5 in your bank account.
Yeah. We're not saying that government monitoring is good or
No,
anything
it's
like
not
that.
good.
It's just, if you're gonna get mad at an app, you need to really be mad at everything else, because everything is monitoring you. So to just go after one app because quote unquote the Chinese are monitoring you is crazy and ludicrous.
And you're going after the wrong friggin' app. That app has more restrictions and it's harder to push things out than all the other, like Instagram, Facebook. You can put whatever and they're not gonna like take you down for anything.
Zuckerberg is married to a Chinese person or Asian. I don't know. They're one and the same to Americans anyway. So I don't know why you guys don't go after Zuckerberg.
Yeah, honestly.
That
go
dude's
after
been
him.
making money off of you for like 20 years now. And
Yeah, go after him. They just talked about how they want to get rid of like the fact checking, which apparently people don't like that on one side of the aisle. They don't like facts, but it's important to have. And they want to do the route of like what Twitter did, which obviously didn't work out too well because Twitter's falling down the toilet. So maybe don't do that.
It's so easy to make old American people like angry. You just say, oh, millennials are using it for stuff such and such, and old people are just like,
They get so upset.
oh yeah, rabble. Millennials, I don't like that
They just
anymore.
hate millennials and Gen Z so much.
You just say millennial or woke.
Mm-hmm.
You call anything millennial or woke, and you'll get angry old people.
It's so bad, so fast.
All rabbled up.
But it's funny.
Riled up. I don't know why I said rabbled up. Rabble.
There you go. But it's so funny because they'll be the first ones to go after a millennial saying, oh, you're getting all worked up and you're a snowflake over stuff. But it's like, actually, it's the other way around. You're the one getting all worked up and upset about the stupidest things.
They cry the hardest.
And you're just projecting it onto like anyone younger than you, really, saying, oh, you're so upset over, like, we're typically upset over legitimate things.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys are upset over, you guys got, they got upset over millennials eating avocado on toast.
Which nobody...
Which is they're like, you're not saving your money because
Which
you want
nobody
to eat
does.
avocados. It's
Nobody
like,
does.
no one went into debt over a friggin' avocado toast.
Yeah.
Calm your shits. A coffee, yeah, they might be an overpriced coffee, but no one's going in debt over that.
I don't think, other than like
It's the
hipsters,
housing market and shit.
other than hipsters, nobody was eating avocado toast.
I had it occasionally, but I wasn't
I don't
eating it like
even-
7 times a day.
I don't even remember the last time I ate toast, much less an avocado.
Yeah, that's true. I don't really eat toast that much anymore. But, like, that's not even the fact. Still, even if you ate it for every meal of the day, that's not what's putting you into debt.
No.
Ugh. That's what's annoying. Is when, like, they're, like, getting upset over stupid shit like that. Like, why do you care what I eat? Why is this such a big deal to you? When I'm over here, it's like we're upset that we haven't seen a raise in minimum wage in over a decade.
Federal minimum wage.
Federal, yeah. In like over a decade. Hasn't been a raise in that. So,
Well, I'm gonna look up
I think
what's the lowest minimum wage right now?
What,
Minimum
in
state wage.
state wage, okay. I was going to say,
Lowest
well, we know that.
Minimum state wage.
I want to take a guess before you find out. I'm going to say 610. That seems low.
No. 515, Georgia and Wyoming.
I thought 610 was low. Are you serious?
Yeah, 515.
515. Who is getting? Are there?
Puerto Rico has a higher minimum wage than Georgia and Wyoming. Puerto Rico.
Wait, both Georgia and Wyoming have
yeah,
that
yeah,
as?
515 per hour.
If anyone, I highly doubt anyone from Georgia or Wyoming is watching this. But if you're from there, is anyone actually getting paid that? Because that's you can't live off of $15 an hour. Forget
Okay, back in 2001 when I was working at Burger King as like a teenager, I was making more than $5.15 an hour. So that is crazy.
Like, I realized
That it's 2025 and the 5.15 is still a state minimum wage.
And I know people are going to put out the whole, well, cost of living over there is cheaper. I realize that, but it's not that
$5
cheap.
and $15.
It's not that cheap.
$5.15 an hour.
No. And then they're going to do the whole, well, working in a fast food restaurant is for teenagers. They're like, no, it's not, because there's managers, and they're making that. And, like, there's people working there during school hours, so who do you expect doing that?
Yeah.
Like, that's it. The people still have to live. Like, you know, an 18-year-old is maybe a kid, but you have to expect, what if they're a kid that was, like, you know,
Kicked out
a
of the
foster
house.
kid, or, like, you know, and that means they are kicked out at 18. That means they have to live on their own now at 18.
5.15.
You have to make it so they can do that. That's how you get these homeless people, by not helping them do that. Like, it's just common sense. Ah,
Let me see. Rhode Island has the biggest $15 an hour. Okay, one of the biggest, I should say. Other states with minimum wages of $15 or higher: Connecticut, Florida, Delaware, Illinois, Maryland, New Jersey, New York, and Washington.
wait, biggest what? Biggest.
Highest minimum wage.
Really? California in there?
Yeah,
I
California.
was
Well,
gonna say,
California
California's
has
like
to be.
gotta be.
California is like it's so.
Or what's
damn
that wage? I don't even
expensive.
know.
Yeah, highest minimum wage.
Yeah, but what is it?
Oh, I don't know. It just says.
Oh, it doesn't tell you?
I can look. I asked for a list. I don't know why it didn't give me a list.
Well,
This one is from 2024.
okay. Pretty updated.
California is at $16, so just a little bit more.
Okay. That's California, so what? Yeah.
16. Connecticut is 15.69.
It needs to be higher.
15.
And I know people will fight back on that because people, for some reason, get very upset about having minimum wage go up. Because they're like, oh, my food prices are going to go higher by having the minimum. That's not how that works.
Connecticut has $15.69, and you know that there's a bro in the economic department, whatever department works on it, that made that up. What should it be? $15.70? Nah, let's make it 69 cents. What a bro.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
To be honest. I'd like to think that it is the case.
I mean, I'm sure there's some sort of algorithm that they use to come up with that, but I just like to think that some guy named Chad is working in there and was like, nah, let's just set it to $15.69.
It would be funny.
Yeah, that's about. Oh, Washington has $16.28.
I burped.
Okay, this is not accurate. Rhode Island, it says Rhode Island is at $14, but I know it's not $14. But like I said,
but that's what it's saying, so that's not accurate.
This is from 2024, so maybe it's gone up. This is from May 2024.
Okay.
So.
I was like, well.
So I think it's 15 or like 15.50 now in Rhode Island.
Okay. Yeah, that must be from like early in the year 24, because it's only been 2025 for like a week.
In Massachusetts is $15 an hour as well. Okay, not bad, not bad. Yeah, I don't know how anybody can live. Well, does this say Georgia? Is that? Okay, so it says $7.25 for Georgia. That's what I was wondering. I was like, the federal wage is $7 and something cents. I assume it's $7.25. If the state wage is lower than that, then doesn't it default?
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Doesn't it default to the federal minimum wage?
I didn't even think of that. How?
So that might be okay. So it is.
Maybe
$7.25.
it is $7.25.
But
then what's the point in the state one? Well, I guess they all have to have one anyways. They probably just don't even touch it. They probably
Mississippi doesn't even have a state minimum, it says on this.
Yeah,
list.
they probably like just let it be whatever the federal is.
Yeah.
You know.
That's still crazy though.
So the federal is what was it, $7.25?
I assume it's $7.25 because there's a bunch of states on here with $7.25. I thought it was just $7.25. I thought it was just a flat 7, but I guess $7.25.
No, it was something different.
Yeah. North Carolina, North Dakota, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, South Carolina. I see a trend here. Texas.
Yeah. I'm not surprised that you're seeing a trend.
Wyoming.
What would this trend possibly be?
What is this trend that I see where the minimum wage is absolute shit?
Yep. Is it possibly the states that take on the most money from other states to pay for the poverty that is happening there?
I don't know about that.
That is a thing that's going on.
Alabama's at $7.25. Idaho's at $7.25.
Typically, blue states are the ones that pay most. They pay to the red states because they're the ones with the most.
Well, through federal grants and stuff like that. I don't think it's like New York is giving money to like Alabama or something like that.
It's kind of.
I think it's just through. I think it's through like federal
a state
taxes.
like New York would put in the most money.
Yeah, I think it's
the
through
other
like federal
states put in
taxes.
pretty much no money, so then that money goes to them. So it's kind of pretty much that.
Let me look up federal taxes paid by state. The first one is Wikipedia, but I don't know how reliable Wikipedia is.
It can be, but then also it might not be because it's easy to change that.
Okay.
Not always reliable.
So let's see. Rhode Island pays 14. Is this in billions? I assume it's in billions.
I would assume, but
yeah, it's just thousands of dollars, and it's got.
Let me see.
8 digits, so that would be $14 billion.
Okay.
It's got to be billion, right? Million seems way too low. It says in thousands of dollars, so that should be like $14 billion.
You think?
14 million is just not enough. Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be billions. Okay, so a state like Rhode Island pays 14 billion, and Arkansas pays 30 billion. How is it that a state like Arkansas, as big as it is, compared to Rhode Island, only pays double?
Wait, what?
Only pays double the amount of federal income. I mean, this is from 2019. It's the last year.
Yeah, but still, it would work. You know, the numbers are the numbers.
we pay more.
Tell me, what?
Wyoming only pays $4.7 billion in federal state taxes.
Okay.
Puerto Rico pays $3.5 billion. How is that possible? I mean, I know nobody lives in Wyoming. But yeah.
Okay, so what are you saying?
Why are...
What is Rhode Island's?
14.
And then Wyoming?
4.7.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, Rhode Island pays significantly more than double.
Almost.
Yeah.
Almost 4 times.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
times.
they pay way
Yes.
more. And in the end, it ends up being the majority of that money, or not majority, but like probably the majority of the money goes to them for a lot of different, like, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact stuff the money's going to, but it's going to those states. Like, yes, obviously blue states are also using some of that money for whatever reasons, but there is a significant amount of people on, like, EBT. Nothing wrong with being on EBT, that's fine. But there's a significant amount of people for that, like healthcare, like all those things in the red states. Mind you, I think a lot of those, it's like an issue, because like I've seen whole documentaries on people being on like the system like that, and like they turn it into like a generational thing. So it's like the kids grew up on the system, and now like the parents are doing it, now the kids are doing it, and then the great, like, you know, it's just going down the line. It's like what it was supposed to try to help them out of it, but
I don't like to judge people on EBT just because my mom uses an EBT card, but that's because she's shopping for my disabled aunt who's on government. Well, she has some sort of government.
Yes, and I have friends that are on it. Like, there's so many different reasons, and it's a great thing to have. It needs to be in place, and it needs to be there for people to help them. But like then you got certain scenarios where it's like, I don't know if it's like the state isn't helping their people properly, or if it's just the people just truly just they are lazy and are not even trying. It could be both.
There are people who literally
you're gonna get both.
Who just have children because they know the more children they have, the more assistance they will get from the government. There's this guy from England. I don't remember his name, but he's really, I guess, infamous is the proper term. He came to a really, really gruesome end. But he kept having, like, he had like multiple wives and multiple children, and he was like complaining about the English government not giving him enough money to feed his children. But he was just having children to make more money. I can't remember his name. It was a big story.
Jeez.
And then he ended up like trying to get homeowners insurance or something like that by setting his house on fire, and then ended up killing all his kids in the fire.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of crazy stuff. Okay, so we just recently found out that apparently there's a serial killer in our semi-general local area, which is kind of crazy to think about, because I don't know, we just live in an area that nothing happens. Yeah. So that's a crazy thing. And then there was also in our local area this, I don't want to give too many details. It was very gruesome. There was like this big murder scenario that happened not too long ago, where it was apparently horrible. It was a family. The husband apparently killed his kids and his wife, 2 kids and his wife that was pregnant, and then he killed himself after. Apparently the police that went on the scene, it was so gruesome that they were shook. Like, they were white in the face. Like, they wouldn't give any detail. They were like, that was
Well, I imagine nobody
awful.
Nobody would enjoy seeing the sight.
Yeah, but apparently it was like more gruesome than what you would expect.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, crazy things happen.
Michael Philpott, or Mick Philpott.
Look
at that story. That's the guy that burnt his house down to try and get like insurance or something.
Really?
And ended up killing 6 of his children.
How many kids did he have?
A bunch.
Really?
Yeah.
So wait, he killed them to what? Get the insurance?
I think to try and get like a bigger house or something like that.
So you get money from the insurance for them dying?
No, just to move them out of that house to get them into like a bigger Section 8 housing or something like that. I'm trying to look up how many kids.
Weird how
he's
you would
got.
think to go that route. That was the route you chose.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is a moron who decided that.
Like, there's even like not legal, not really great ways to do it. And
not
that
only
was the
that, he
one.
was a pedo, and he was like impregnating like teenage girls and
Ew.
grooming them and stuff like that.
Ew.
It says.
Ew.
It says.
Ew.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how many kids he had, but there were a bunch of them. Like, I think he's got some adult kids too.
Ew. Was he? I hope he wasn't.
Maybe he had 7 kids. It says he only has 1 left.
I feel bad for so they all died except for one?
Yeah.
God.
Yep.
I feel bad for those kids, and I really hope he wasn't like touching the girls. Well, that wouldn't shock me if he was.
I don't know.
But like, I feel bad for all the girls. Like, oh my god.
All right, we gotta
Ew.
go back now.
Either way, yeah, we gotta go back.
Okay.
Great
Screw
note
all
to
you.
end on.
Screw all you
Bye.
people.